Here we go. So tonight we're gonna
Roll Tide.
do a head-to-head
Mm.
sample. See what we think. So these two guys have no idea what they are. I am a terrible, terrible human being and decided to make them drink two crazy things next to each other and decide what they like. It's always fun for me. So let's see.
I would like to change our vote on what we're trying tonight based on the introduction.
Yeah, no
Too
kidding. Didn't
bad.
get that info.
Yeah, I feel like definitely the old bait and switch just occurred.
I mean, based on the note, how do you want to do this? You want to go one
Yeah,
full
let's do
notes or one nose and then
well, so let's just like do noses versus each other and then we'll do a full kind of like idea on
oh,
number
yeah, okay,
one and on number
cool.
two.
So the nose doesn't seem that bad. So based on
Uh,
your introduction, I was concerned.
yeah.
Nose on number one is very sweet, almost like a peach ring.
Oh, really? I was gonna go, and this is old school. Grape Big League Chew.
Okay, all right. I don't
That
necessarily.
part.
Oh no, I do get the. Oh,
Yeah.
whoa.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, I was about to say, I don't know if it's the power of suggestion, but all
From
of a
the
sudden I was like,
moment I cracked
okay.
this
I was
bottle.
like, no, and then the grape, then the grape came at the end.
Yeah. From the moment I cracked this bottle, that's what I get. And I
Now the
love it.
question is,
That is crazy.
much like, much like Big League Chew, are the flavors going to disappear on this bourbon just as fast?
Possibly.
It's all about the looks, Brian. It's all about the
Mm.
aesthetic. Let's be
Do they
honest.
do they even sell Big League Chew anymore, or is that like
Oh, yeah, they do. I've been
taboo?
tempted on road
Totally.
trips to buy it.
Okay.
So number two is definitely a more subdued nose, but I get like oak and vanilla.
Like a yeah, lighter, sweet, maybe a bit of grain, but like a not the typical grain. It's like a hmm, almost like a rye. I get almost like a rye spice, like a rye spearmint.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Yeah.
Experiment. Yeah.
Interesting. I've
Trying to
never
think of what
gotten
that
that
was.
on that one. That is interesting.
Yeah,
I like it.
I feel
it's
like it's not the initial note you get on the nose there. Like I
Mhm.
feel like it.
so interesting. I mean, thus far, only nose. Interesting that you pair these head to head because
Yes. I was
noses
thinking the
are
same thing.
quite different.
Yeah. Be honest, I just randomly chose two bottles.
And I believe that because you don't have purpose with anything.
And
That is
how
correct.
much criticism do I get when I do that? Like we're just like, oh, TJ randomly put things together. Like
Well,
no
to
big
be
deal.
That
But
was
when Brian
sarcasm from
does
my
it,
side, Brian, because I would have expected that from you. So I don't.
all right. Let's try this first sample. Cheers.
no, I've already been drinking.
Ooh. Number one is quite tasty.
Yeah.
Oak,
And I
sweet, caramel,
put that grape note all the
butterscotch.
way through.
It's like an oaky grape,
Yeah.
not like a wine grape though, because
No,
that's different. But
no, it's like
Like
still
grape
that like yeah.
Kool-Aid.
in the sweet, like yeah, that sweet vanilla grape, whatever, like goes all the way through, and even like the into the finish. Like
Mhm.
there's not a spice at the end that overpowers that,
Yep.
which is uniquely fun.
Definitely get a lot of oak though. So to me, I mean, I like the uniqueness of the grape and the oak. Like to me, it's quite good.
Yeah. Very unique bottle. I'll say that.
I'm almost scared to say that I like that because it's like you're going to be telling me that it's like some $25 bottle or something. But
Okay,
I am
why does
notorious for
with
that
that.
that
scare
oak, I hope
you?
not.
Why does that scare you? Like embrace that. Like if you find something in the $50 or less that you love, Chuck, that's okay.
Embrace.
Okay, price tags don't equal love. You don't have to buy love, Chuck. Okay, you
Yeah.
don't have to buy love. Okay,
Yeah,
it can
Who
no,
be
are you trying to
important,
convince?
even if it's not expensive.
himself. But yeah, no, overall, well balanced. the grape note goes all the way through, which is awesome. There's definitely the vanilla, the caramel of normal bourbons, and then yeah, there's a big oak presence. So very, very well balanced and good bourbon.
I really don't know why you paired these two together, but I'm intrigued at your reveal. Um,
Because they're both good but different. That's why. That was the theme.
Yeah.
Good but different.
okay.
The
All right.
the sweetness on that first one is like it doesn't quite get there, but it's like almost like dessert bourbon to me. Like not fully there, but just that sweet note going all the way through start to finish, and just the finish not having any type of strong pepper, cinnamon kick at the end. It just kind of levels off and disappears, but in a very
Yeah.
enjoyable way.
Yeah, number two, that grainy, the rye note. I should say grainy. The rye note kind of carries through, but it's
Yeah.
a powerful finish. Like very well done. Like also has some residual honey notes, some sweetness, um, well blended in there. It's
So
just very different from number one. Like I think number one, the oak presence for me elevates it. I'm lacking that on number two.
so it's really interesting, and this is why blinding things next to each other is so much fun because I've never tasted these two side by side. I've just tasted them individually. I have never got that sperimenty
Mm.
note ever in this number two. But I will say I do feel like number one elevates it a little bit because it's just as good. They're just different.
I don't know if I'm there yet with number two on just as good as but different. But I can be convinced. Like for me, like I feel like number one would be the winner on this. But
You're allowed your own opinion. You don't need to be
I mean,
convinced.
I totally agree with you, Brian.
Yeah.
uh,
but it's like, yeah. Sorry, go check.
no, I totally agree with you. I think the oak on number one, the sweet, more just traditional bourbon notes. Number two is a bit light, I think, in flavor and complexity.
Mhm.
I think that grain and rye spice is a bit overpowering.
Yeah.
Kind of single noted. Not bad, just more single noted. Yeah, number one, geez, that nose, you go back to it. It's just like that sweet caramely. And that's
I was gonna say it's like 9:15. So when Chuck goes to bed in about 3 minutes, I'd like to see number two with like one or two ryes in a rye lineup and see how it compares. Like it'd be
Be
interesting to
interesting.
see where it would be at there.
this finish on number one. Like that is like Brian, you should be raving about this. Like this is worthy of a Brian monologue. Like where are we getting this?
Um, the finish is wonderful on number one. Yes, sir. It, but I like a finish. I mean, like we've talked about earlier tonight. Like I like a finish that gives me a little bit of Kentucky hug, has some warmth, has some pop to it. This doesn't quite get there on number one for me on the finish. Like it's a very enjoyable, good finish, but it just
Mm.
kind of has that. It's good, and then it just kind of leaves you without really making a statement, without lingering quite as long as I want.
So we all are in agreement that number one is better than number two, but both are good. Is that where we're at?
What do you mean define good?
Hmm. Yeah. So
You want
like
to talk about value?
No,
Can you
I don't
tell us
want
the
to. I just
price or
no, I'm not telling you prices because they're
I
both
think price matters
highly
for would I
allocated, highly
highly
impossible to find.
allocated.
Both incredibly hard to
Um,
find.
if I were to have the choice, I would only buy one.
Right.
That's, I guess, my
Okay.
definition
There you
of
go.
good. Like, I wouldn't buy number two. Happy to
There you
drink number two, but wouldn't buy it.
go. Okay.
I would buy either. I mean, depending on the price point, but
You
Which
can
really
only
means
Uh,
neither.
Brian can only afford one of them, so it doesn't matter.
then that's the one I would buy.
Yeah. All right, so there we go. So the second place one, I just wanted Chuck to admit that it was better than he complains about and poo-poos on, which is Art of Spirit 19 year.
Ooh.
So this
I
is
guess my opinion
a
was still consistent.
yeah, but you like
I wish
it
I
was the
hadn't
worst
bought
thing
it,
you ever
basically.
had. So this is a 19-year-old single barrel from our bourbon that we were part of. Yeah, so the nose on them, they say caramel, cherry cola, and baking spices. Again, like every time I've tried this, I've never got that mint note. So that's interesting. But the Art of Spirits is out of Colorado, right, Chuck? Isn't that where they're from? If I remember right.
I don't know.
I think so. But this is, yeah, so bottled by Art of Spirits Whiskey in Colorado Springs, Colorado. But this is distillate from Missouri. Now, there was a slight press release on this that said it was from the McCormicks, which just happened to be the same people that own what's your favorite thing, Brian? Ben
Holiday.
Holiday. So, but then that
Yes.
was quickly retracted. Like they almost like they had an NDA and they couldn't actually say that. So we just know it's Missouri 19-year-old bourbon. And I
What
think it's
other
good.
19-year-old Missouri bourbon would there be?
Right, exactly. I
Unlikely
think,
any other.
yeah, I think it's really good. I don't, and I'm with Chuck on this. I don't think it's $200 good. But you know, I jumped on that Ben Holiday train, and you know, you get burned every now and then. So
Unfortunately, I jumped on the 19-year train, and
yeah,
sometimes you get burned.
yeah, exactly. It was like
Ages and
19.
everything, folks.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Which means the one that we
Like
all
Brian is
like.
still a young chicken, so he's still like
That's right, boys.
it works the other way. But yeah, anyway.
The one we all liked is E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof. And this is, I don't know the batch number because I didn't look that close or anything like that. But for all you people that want to know, just look it up. It is 131.1 proof. So I believe that's like batch 13 or something like that. But that is amazing. And it's the first time ever in a Buffalo Trace product that everybody always talks about the grape note. And I'm always like, I've never had it. This is the one that it's like, oh, there it is.
I'm not disappointed that I like this
Wow.
now that you told me what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
You said this was
And
131
like,
proof?
yeah, 131 proof. And
Yeah,
MSRP should be about $75. So that's the other thing.
Good luck.
So,
yeah,
like,
that ain't real.
secondary
So, yeah.
prices is just like $30-$40 over the other one. This is one of the few ones I might be like, hey, just buy the secondary over the regular price.
For sure. Nope, hands down.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe
Oh,
number one's 131 proof.
Mhm.
Like this, I mean, if you were to tell me this was 110, I'd be like, oh, okay, that seems about right.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Yeah, this is wow. There's been a few of those where they're in that 130 range where it's like, okay, you could have fooled me, but not to this extreme.
I'm gonna have to give a huge shout out to Cody, my buddy up in Chicago, that was just like, Merry Christmas, have this bottle free. So thank you so much, Cody, that we could review that. We
Wow.
Thank you, Cody.
best present, second to Chuck, who gave me a George C. Stagg. So just saying, you're number 2, sir. Brian doesn't even, come close. He hasn't given me anything that great. Maybe a leftover 1910, but oh well.
Leftover 19.
That sounds about
Is
right.
this not like, should we do a, I'm trying to think of other, like you think about what, we talk about the best value in bourbon. Should we talk about what should be the best value in bourbon? Like at MSRP, should we blind this against our blessed Elijah Craig barrel proof? And
we could do that. We can say best value in allocated bourbon that you cannot find is now E.H. Taylor barrel proof.
I mean, while we're if that's the descriptor, I'm going bourbon distilled in unicorn tears. Like while we're at it,
No,
or
no,
like
because that
Those
whatever.
I
Like
aren't unicorns are not real.
if
Okay.
we're going unicorns, I'm still
you,
taking WLW, Pappy 10,
No, he's saying
20,
literal
Pappy
unicorn
15. Yeah,
tears
right. I
yeah,
thought that's what
because
all
I
those are
cause,
made of.
instead of
Also,
I
Louisville
Trace.
limestone water. We are using.
Yeah, I mean
yeah
that
because
you guys don't know.
I've come across one chiller barrel proof at a local store. They were nice enough to offer it to me
Oh, at six
at
hundred
the one.
dollars or
No, it was only 450.
oh,
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah, so what you guys got to realize is
It's like,
you got to do the super special hard hat tour at Buffalo Trace, and you get to go pet the unicorns that they milk the tears of to
ooh,
put in the water.
Milk the tears. So these
Yep.
are they're
oh,
it's like milking implies that comes out of the udder. So the
No,
well,
no, they
unicorns
no,
cry
they
out of
milk
the
the
udder.
tear
you
duct.
milk your tear ducts.
Oh,
Gosh.
okay. So they just like massage the tear duct.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
Yeah,
So
interesting.
before we go too far down a tangent, thanks thanks for watching. I am sorry I
Nobody's
put a
watching.
super
Nobody's
allocated
watching at this
bottle
point.
in this, and you're probably like, oh, you could never find it. But we don't do that very often. And this, to be honest, this E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof is one of Chuck's unicorns, and I got it before him. So I had to put it in a sample. So with that, cheers, and we'll see you next time.
Stay neat. Thank you, TJ.
Sour bourbon.
That's lovely. Lovely.